And then she'll just blow down.
Oh, yeah. And it's called gaming management. So basically, I want to.
That's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah. So I'm going over right after time, like class. It's part of the class. Yeah, it's that, like, part of the class. But anyway, I'm going to get a lot of do I get one like on a plate of women's shower house?
One, two, three. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Not so much. Just get rid of that cutting training for tonight.
Lawn chair there? Riley, fine Irish gentleman. Oh, yes, you are. Or at least I'm Irish. How are you doing? Looking for somebody. You found it right there. Kind of.
No, nope.
Kind of something. You look at it. Maybe not. Yeah.
That's Sean.
Is Tom ready for the big night tonight?
I guess. It's like, well, tell me what you want me to do. It's like, get out of the way. Show up, yeah. Show up, but, and eat. Have Sergeant's doctor's appointment this morning, so. They suspect him in his corner. Hopefully not, because they have packages showing up at the house. Yeah, so far I haven't seen it. They don't have it yet. Oh, yeah.
You want some here?
You know, I would
Reserve, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, you're assuming he would let you sit at his table.
I know, I'm sitting right by him.
You didn't ask him?
Unless I get kicked off. So Jamie told me she had some song lyrics that you've got.
I got the video. and the children's song.
So you have that as well?
I have that, yeah.
Okay. It's just on this, it's just on the jump drive. Oh, you can just drag it. It's you can do the PDF lyrics. Homings, Nevada.
Oh, you have two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, grab that one.
That one?
Yeah. And then you've got the video, so the video's online as well, but if you've got it, then we're good to go.
Yeah, so I got it here on the, right here.
Okay.
Then I got the ongoing
Press that.
slide.
And so if we click on Homings, Nevada, let's see how big that shows.
Okay.
Up that one.
Too exciting.
Yeah.
11 years old.
Okay. I'm not seeing it.
Me either.
That doesn't.
Wow. Did somebody have her pass away or something? How did you end up, how they end up pretty good?
I think it's,
Yeah.
we made it larger, if we go off the screen, right?
Well, but if we did,
I think that's about it.
yeah, that's probably as good as we need.
You can also go like full screen, right?
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
This is what?
The full screen, I think, is that square up here. Yeah. Look, close it.
There is a.
Oh, yeah, so that one. That fits the width. Yeah. One more. There. Oh, that's good.
Oh, this is.
Well, no, that's gonna, oh, yeah, try it in, you know,
There is a full screen. PDF full screen.
there we go.
That's what we want.
And that we don't need to share. For people that are on video, they're not gonna be seeing it.
Oh, all right.
Yes?
So, there's,
And then eject this one.
Oh, yeah.
that's here, right somewhere. Yeah, this 2.0.
Mhm. Oh, you're doing it better. You're doing it the way that,
I still not familiar with the
so we are good with this.
Yes, oh, you want to open this one? Open with the viewer. If you open it with the viewer, it doesn't reset.
So it's,
Yeah. Desktop. So just click on this PC and then the desktop should come up.
very high.
No, actually go to, yeah, there
Sponsored.
The latest one, right? Yeah, that's it.
Their motor, they script quite a bit better.
Is that it?
Yep. Oh, but it's not rotating. It doesn't have the, because, no, it's the right one, but,
Going by itself.
well, didn't we do the one with the golf tournament? Isn't there one with the golf tournament? This is just the sponsorship one.
All right, no, so it's this thing that's on the back. It's the ongoing presentation.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, there it is. It's already up. It's already up. Click on that one. The second one down. Just one below it. Just one below it. There you go. Because there's Discovery, and that should also have the golf. That should have everything on there.
Okay, so I'll go to share.
What, like, over?
This gamble. You can't run onto the game. They just like, they'll do anything. They're like, oh, it's like, oh, it's all right, you know? You get like these guys, it's like rolling dice, just like.
Now let's see what happens. There we go.
Change that, sorry.
Mhm.
You will see. Like that.
That's what I do, 100%. So my strongest straight, two strong straight. One of them is.
Come on.
Did we run this last time? It didn't go.
No, we did it. We did it because we went back through and we changed the transition so that it would run it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, it is changed.
Yeah.
Just don't worry.
Yeah. There's a little faster
All right, maybe it's a go out before it's.
before it woke up. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, it's the same decision. And not doing it.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, I think we're good on the audio.
I can see it in their eyes that they're scared.
And you tested it?
Yeah.
You may get it for a few hundred, for 50,000.
So
So I try to make.
I
try to.
And I think this is easy.
yeah. No, that's where it is. I volunteered
Last card, they'll
to
100%
do the
you're not.
for 3 months,
So I'm definitely.
just
So I
because
got.
Katie's
not gonna be here in November.
Yeah,
You know,
the scribe and the AV are too hard to find, to put it on the green book every single week. So they're gonna assign the scribe position for 3 months, and they're gonna assign this. So I said, I'll do the AV, but I know. So we'll have lots of people that will be here to help. So that's where we're going, so that we don't have to scramble. But I think, yeah, so. And that's the problem. So needless to say, we should be good to go, but I do.
I'm sure both.
We live in the same area.
Right.
Do you know where Lino Bishop Pond is on this end? Like Desert and.
I get it.
This is UPS.
It's very close to my donut, Master Donuts.
Yeah, I was right by there. Oh, where, yeah.
I love that place.
I'm like, you know what CVS is? There's a street behind CVS called Emerson. I'm down there. I'm like,
You're quite honored, like 3 or 4 in the morning.
And I have to go and manage.
It's like, oh, they get Master Donuts. Yeah, Master Donuts.
oh, okay.
Next year. I do.
I say about one time a year.
I wake up quite
That's the last thing you gotta get that at one of the conferences.
Hey, Dad, how are you? Oh, there's a birthday table. Maybe let's tell them. You know what? That's so funny. I was like, I love to call on board and I didn't call David. I didn't know she was I just got my substitute teacher license. Yeah, I need to take off the
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys get?
We got the, I think it's all there.
They'll show up. Maybe.
So that's. I told her.
Wait, so you said that when you have a lesson, that you would ask the neighbor to teach him? So what's happening on Sunday?
Good afternoon. Welcome to Rotary. Our invocation this morning is going to be by Stephen.
In person.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Thank you, President Katie. So yesterday was the last day of the most holy week in Judaism. And so I thought it was probably appropriate to reach back to some of the Jewish sages for today's invitation. And as you may have noticed, we've been trying each week to read a specific invocation that's aligned with the subject matter of our speaker. Among this week's speaker will address certain aspects of retail cannabis. So finding a respectable and appropriate invitation is a bit of a challenge, but should never be said that Rotary members are anything but resourceful. So in Judaism, blessings are said during certain moments to sanctify an act, like performing a religious ritual or having a meal. There's a famous recurring bit from Fiddler on the Roof that insists there's a blessing for everything. So the question is there a prayer for getting stoned? Well, let's look. So marijuana in public life is changing from social acceptability to legally permissible. It's become a material contribution revenue to our tax base, supporting, among other things, our schools. Scientists are looking to separate fact and fiction, and a greater understanding of the effects of the drug will soon be clear. Rabbis are starting to condone the practice, or at least not actively condemn it. Anything that plays a role in our day-to-day life merits deep thinking debates. So it's a safe and accepted practice for an observant person. What message should one make before believing it? You feel good. God is not going to mind saying, thank you, God, for keeping me alive and allowing me to reach this moment. This is so nice, says one rabbi. The times I've experienced marijuana are the times I look on and I say, thank you, God. However, there's another school of thought to lighten up the moment. If the weed is good enough, the appropriate prayer you should probably say is Tavli Adarech. This is the prayer that we say when traveling, as in, have a good trip.
Stu, you're such a friend. Jamie Goldsmith is going to be our song leader today. Follow that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sing Homies Nevada today, and the lyrics are right up here. Way out in the wind of the setting sun, where the wind blows wild and free.
There's a lovely spot, just the only one that means home, sweet home to me. If you follow the old Kit Carson's trail, the desert meets the hills. Oh, you certainly will agree with me, it's the lace of 1,000 thrills. Oh, home means Nevada, home means the hills, home means the sage and the pines. Out by the Truckee, still Burley Rills, out where the sun always shines. There is a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see. Right in the heart of the Golden West, home means Nevada to me.
Please join me in pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Sergeant at Arms today is Tom Thomas. Do we have any international visitors today? Know about it? How about visiting Rotarians? Do we have any guests for Rotarians?
No, we got a bigger room, we're not gonna have room for this.
I know it. That's a good thing.
Good afternoon, everybody. My guest today is Juan Salinas from the Salvation Army, who works really closely with us on our Santa Claus program.
My guest today is a friend of mine, Louisa Ford. She works with me on the HOA in our community. She's head of property grounds. She wanted to see where my happy place was every Thursday, so I invited her to check us out.
President King, President-elect Tony, I'm thrilled to have my two ladies, two guests of the club, and I'm just thrilled to have them. They're just absolutely beautiful people. I'd like to introduce first Evelyn Everson for her first visit to our club, the prospective Rotarian. I've known Evelyn, she's worked quite a number of years for IBM and for Ford Motor Company. And of course, back for a second time is Brittany Denise, and Brittany is working as the human relations director at the First Security Bank of Nevada. So if you welcome my guests, I appreciate that.
It was ladies first, that's why. Good afternoon, Rotarians. Dave Larson here, welcoming the Executive Director of USO Nevada and former member of this club, Jim Mullen. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to have Major Bunker of Major Home Workers with me. I've never had a conference meeting. And as I always do, I talk about Rotary and very interested in seeing how we operate and hopefully joining us in our great Rotary.
Do we have any other visitors today? I'd like to take a moment to introduce the head table. Our speaker today, Clef Javre, more formally introduced in 4 minutes, Rosalie Hedrick. Anna Durant is with us today from the Smith Center. Past President Ginger Anderson and her guest, Watson. A whole bunch of announcements, starting with Karen Wisenhunt.
Afternoon, Rotarians. I'm excited to say the golf tournament is tonight, finally, that we look forward with it. So please, for those of you that have signed up, show up at 5:30. There's registration is at 5:30, and then we have 2 shotgun starts, one at 6 and one at 7. So the first team that plays at 6 o'clock, the other people will be eating their dinner, and then when they're finished golfing, they'll come and eat their dinner while the second starts. So if you have signed up, we'll see you at 5:30, and it'll be a great event, beautiful evening ahead of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Read our planet, protection, anything else? Oh, good, okay. Sorry.
Youth protection. Everybody that plans on working with any project with kids, you must sign up. And I've only had less than 30 people sign up. There's a sign up in the green book. I'm not sure if there's still one on the table. It's all done online. All you have to do is give me your name. I pass your name along, and you miraculously get it to you. You take a test, and you'll get 15 minutes. So if you plan on doing it, it's a requirement of District 5300. So please be sure you sign up. On Green Our Planet, I am running short of, not this way, but a number of people working for the Green Our Planet Fall student farmers market. It's on Thursday, October 20th. We need to be there by 7:30 in the morning. We should be done no later than 10 or 10:30. All it is setting up tables, putting some tablecloths on, and greeting the kids coming off the buses. So we got 40 buses with a bunch of kids and their clocks. Just give a little time, sign up. It should be in the green book, comes to me, or it's over there. I think that's it. We can do the social service later. Why don't you go ahead and do that? Okay. I am thrilled, we have social service come and speak to us at one conference of young kids that learn service acts. And it's also part of a discipline program to the juvenile court service, which is kind of neat. The community grants committee for your Rotary Club did give a grant to them for the Josh Stevens Elementary School for some sensitive training equipment for kids in the autistic or on the spectrum program. We have been great, kindly given a video, which we'll be showing momentarily, letting you see where your money went and how our money is being used. Later. David, you have it out.
I'm gonna do it this way. That's fine. Yeah.
That's your dollars of work.
So many good things we're doing.
Is Carrie Gross here today? Our convention authority, Rosalie Hebert will make an announcement. Okay, just a reminder that we are doing the tour on October 20th, meeting up at 3:45 in the parking lot. The tour starts at 4 p.m. We'll be with Brian Yost, the COO of the LBCBA, and we'll be doing a tour of that facility and then also the tunnel as well. Sorry, picture fine. And then thereafter, when we're done with the tour, we're going to the pepper mill for a social. For those who want to attend, you're more than welcome to come, and it's by your own. But we look forward to having a great turnout, and it should be a lot of fun. Learn something new.
Thanks, Rosa.
Oh, it's Castro.
Guys, a couple things. We are still raising money for the Canopy Drive. You guys have a 10 on 4 tables. If you would like to donate to that, that would be amazing. We are trying to win for Haiti. Let's win for her. Let's beat them. Okay? There is a sign-up sheet in free book for that as well. If you guys want to donate money, there's a free book for that. Thank you, Mike. So another thing, we are hosting the 25 Club. We'll be hosting a Halloween party. It's going to be October 28th at 6 o'clock. You guys can flyer on the store table. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have a costume contest. And this is also going to raise money for the Cat Food Drive. So please show up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And bring family, friends. It's going to be a potluck. And it's the $10 donation. So there's that. If you guys have any questions, please come talk to me. And thank you. This is the costume party. Costume party, yes. Everyone dress up. That's very, very, if you guys want to win an awesome prize. Dress up.
Can I wear my I Hate Halloween t-shirt?
Yes. What you got?
I think we have a little surprise, pop-up Austin.
Surprise, and
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, I'm President. Today, you guys have the greatest opportunity to be of service. And for your service, you're going to see something really special. Right? As you guys know, we have the putt tournament coming up, right? Who here is really bad at putting? Let's see, come on, let's see those hands. Who's bad at putting? Sounds like you guys really need this, right? So as you guys know, we're doing the Camp Food Drive for the Salvation Army. I'm just helping out here and really trying to bring something big to the table to help out with that. And luckily also Tom has been kind enough to offer the match. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to buy this golf ball, right? This golf ball is guaranteed to get you a hole-in-one at the tournament, right? If you don't, you just didn't believe what I said hard, right? So, with that being said, we are about a month and a week away until the end of this Camp Food Drive. So we're at $10,000 away to go. I would like to start bidding at $100. We got $100. We got $100. We got $200. We got $200. I have $300. My goal here, just to be clear, is $1,000 for Tom to match, so $2,000 total. You can call me crazy, but it's crazy enough it just might work. You don't know if this ball works or not. You don't know where I live either, so I don't care. So $300. Do we have $400? Come on.
Way in the back.
Where? I can't see. There. Do we have 500? Come on, guys. What's another one? $500. Give me 6. Where's 6? Come on, $600. 500 going once, 500 going twice. Sold. You got your $1,000. And so, we started the Norm City in the future. Russ told me that part of what this duty is, anytime there's not, you have to match it. So this microphone comes with obligations.
Since you're matching.
Oh, you.
For your $500.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob. Ginger Anderson, do you want to make an announcement about Santa Claus now that they're announced?
I always try to be really careful about when I take a bite, if I don't want this. Sorry. This bit, let's see, what announcements do I have today? The Santa Claus sign up is in the Green Book. Donations that we receive before the end of the month will be matched by the Annual Staff Foundation. So every dollar you commit will be $2 for the program. If you haven't signed up, please do. We also need volunteers. So tell your family and friends, come out and shop and have a great time at Santa Claus. Oh, Speedway Children's Charities. They need volunteers to sell 50/50 raffles at the NASCAR races coming up. For your 2 to 3 hours of service, you get a ticket to the race. So if you go to the race is free. And if you go on Sunday, you get 4 tickets for Sunday's race. So come on out and help. They help us a lot with Santa Claus. And in fact, they're sending 8 volunteers to shop with kids for Santa Claus. So hopefully we can give them a little hand with their tickets.
Great, thank you. For Santa Claus, our annual holiday party is December 8th, that evening at the Rampart Casino. It's going to be really lovely. So put that on the calendars. Rose Loco, are you here? Okay.
Sorry, well, you talking about the candy.
Candy, okay, all right, so I guess we're continuing candy collection. Richard just had donated 20 cans, so thank you, Richard. And we will be collecting until next week. And that will be it, we've got to cut it off, so your money donations, starting the book, forward it until next week, thank you.
We Walsh. Where are you?
Beckley is having their Harvest Festival on November 4th. Scenic Newport. It's from 4 to 7 p.m. If you'd like to give a PM to the school, just write it in the paperwork. Don't think it, just call me or contact me and we'll get a job for you. Beckley also wants to make an announcement. If you plan coming to work and you just like to come and see the festival, you're all very welcome. Thank you. Thanks. Is Kirk Alexander here?
So we have a very successful bill on Saturday, the 1st of October. I had a chance to talk to people at the court office yesterday. And they gave me some background on exactly all the details of it. I didn't get a chance to talk because I'm sure with past President Bull. But they did meet at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. The lead builder was John Meager. John's had a lot of experience. Been there for 30 years. There was 14 volunteers that showed up for the districts that built a house. We had their morning ceremony was on, and their orientation and Clark, they're getting into the job from there. And built a house, we're all done about 4:20 in the afternoon, and made their way back to where did they stay? They stayed in San Diego, Chula Vista. Anyway, we painted the house, painted it yellow. It's an elderly couple, and they had volunteered 1,800 hours of community service. And that's how they made it to the list. And so they very much enjoyed it. There were no kids in this particular role, but the seniors always have a sweet spot in the community. Other than that, everybody got together afterward, had dinner, and we went home safely on Sunday.
Are we going to do another one in spring?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Birthday table.
Sean's not at it.
My birthday is January, but I asked specifically to make sure that everyone who does really has their birthday.
And you just wanted to make a donation to the foundation. Which we greatly appreciate.
My birthday.
And there's another one.
My birthday is April 13. I was born in 1959 in Switzerland.
All right, David Mullen, October 8th, 1958.
I'm Rock Fraser, and I realize that since Sean's birthday's on the 16th and mine's on the 13th, and I'm a little bit older than she is. I've been in the club for about 25 years. They've been incredibly wonderful years. I'll blame Rob Moore on having brought me into the club, past President Rob Moore. And I had the honor of serving as your president around 2006.
All right, well, this is, Katie is the 17th president that I worked for in the Rotary Club. I have to read the wrong thing, take credit for my reading. But, it's been a pleasure. This is truly the best of the world, so I'm happy to do it. I think Sidra's gonna sing happy birthday.
Far better heard. Oh, you didn't have to?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosaria. Happy birthday to you.
You should get a picture of the people that were sitting there that shouldn't have.
Since next month, I think we have 2 birthday tables, because November is 9 months after Valentine's. November 13th, I'm one of them.
We have 2 presentations today. I'd like to ask Ginger to come up and Emma Durant to come up. Very exciting, we're presenting the check today for our Centennial Project. And I'm going to have Emma speak for just a minute about kids that got to go last week.
Good morning, first and foremost, I would just like to say on behalf of the Civic Center how very much we appreciate the input from the Las Vegas Rotary Club. Last week, we had 26 Broadway show at the Civic Center, and thanks to your support, we have 40 school kids from Spring Valley High School attending the performance. In the book is a little note that the teacher will come to them and send, and also a really cool video that they show off there too. So thank you. I appreciate it. $50,000, and this is our first installment on our 2-year program. The real one. And we have another presentation to make to Rose Faloco.
I'm going to do zeros as the first presentation, but enough. So I'm going to do zeros for your presentation, but it's still quite enough.
But Rose, there's your check for $4,516. The good news is that the foundation got matching. So the foundation is also $4,900.
And I just want to say, I've been a member of this club since 2008. I've never had a chance to come. So, and I like to every week, so I guess it was time. Thank you. And I've already given 1,000 to Centennial Book and 1,000 to Senate Club, so there you have it.
Wow.
I want to thank everybody that made this meeting possible. Kathy Mann and Anthony Monaco helped set up this morning. Christine Luby and Tony Craig for greeting everybody at the door. And Marie Walsh sells tickets every week. Our scribe today is Susan Ziobro. David Jones is handling our AV. And Don Holland has to clean up after the meeting, so thank you all. We'll have a few minutes for fellowship before we introduce our speaker. Thank you. Okay. That was fast. He doesn't want me to eat lunch today. So we're gonna auction off her new children's book. She's just published. So, late. It's really not new, but I can only sell it at this time of year. It's a children's book about Halloween. And I'm auctioning it off. Online, it sells for $6. What we're looking for, more like 600. I'm Thomas. No, we can open up the bidding at 50. Anybody want to buy a book for 50? There's Tom for 50. How about 75? Maybe we'll do 75, 100. It's a really good book. Tom, thank you for 100. Any other bids? 125? Going once, going twice. Another really good auctioneer, so sold to Tom Thomas. I'll never be able to get another sergeant at arms. Thank you, Arlene.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna turn it off.
I have a couple of announcements before I get going. The Centennial Celebration Committee is going to meet in the Vintage Room immediately after this meeting, so please join us back in the Vintage Room. That was it. I wanted to drive the line today. The green book, thank you, Sean. Please keep the green book circulating. A lot of stuff we get people signed up for. Sean just told me we have 52 people signed up to do the convention authority tour. So we're really excited. And the ticket for the drawing, chance to pull the Joker, is 844-1801. And today, yes, at the end of last week's meeting, we had $650. Okay. And the ticket for $50 from Lowry Bucks, 844-1703. Hi, everyone. I am super excited to introduce Buck. I've known Buck for a very long time. He is rather funny. I'm sure y'all will have some good laughs at the end of our meeting. And we want to welcome him. So here's some facts about him. He appeared in the Las Vegas, Toronto, and First National Touring Companies for the award-winning hit Jersey Boys. Prior to this, he performed in multiple regional, international productions of hit Broadway musicals and operettas. He spent 2 seasons at Ohio Light Opera. Most recently, he's appeared on TV as one of the stars of the Emmy Award-winning series, The Looming Tower. He speaks several languages fluently, and his real job is he's a broker, team leader, CEO for Keller Williams Realty Southwest, AW Commercial, and the residential section. So let's all welcome our fun speaker, Buck.
Thank you, everybody. How about a round of applause for Leslie right here? I'm very excited to be here with you guys today. I was thrilled to death when she sent me an email and said, will you come hang out with a bunch of Rotarians, because your founding mission to leave the community better than you found it is something that I've always believed in. And believe it or not, that's what led me to the entertainment business. I'll tell you how we get there in about 10 minutes, so start your timer, see how well I do. As Rosalie mentioned, my name is Buck Kuchak. I come from the long-lost land of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Anybody been to Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Yeah, okay, all right. We're famous for 2 things, the LSU Fighting Tigers and Jimmy Swaggart. Funny story about brother Jimmy. I grew up with his son Justin Swaggart. Everybody here know who Jimmy Swaggart is? Good, bad, and different. Anybody here not know who Jimmy Swaggart is, so that you're not left out of the joke? Okay, so brother Jimmy Swaggart gets credit for being the first mainstream televangelist megachurch leader. Tammy Faye and Jim kind of modeled after what Jimmy Swaggart did, and they lived in a very modest home, 2 doors down from us. And every morning, now my family is originally from Kabul, Afghanistan. Son of Muslim Middle Eastern immigrants growing up in the Deep South. I'll give you a second. You want to talk about confused, especially because my parents in America have no idea about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. I'll give you a moment. I come home as the guinea pig from school, talking about the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. My mom and dad are like, yeah, sure, great. My dad runs into the office the next day and goes, what the hell is the Tooth Fairy? To everybody that's working with it. Who is this man? We don't even have a chimney. How's he going to get down? Isn't that breaking and entering? We shoot people in my country related to that. This is America. You have all the guns, you don't do the same thing, right? So let that temper kind of the expectation of why this should have been a doctor, engineer, and lawyer all at the same time in the showbiz and in real estate. Like, imagine, we'll talk about that level of disappointment in a minute. So, brother Jimmy lives 2 doors down from us. They were very good to us. They looked after our family. They made sure that we felt welcome. They were big on fellowship. So I would walk to school every day with Justin Swaggart, Jimmy's eldest son. And it was sort of like out of a musical, if you would imagine. I'd walk out the front door, and then Justin is walking here. We'd meet and turn and walk to the bus stop. And one morning, I get there, and he's not there. like I might be a little early. I ate my Frosted Flakes a little too quick. And I turn and I look to the left, and the very definition of a media circus is on the swagger from on. News stations from a faraway, distant lands in those days. I'm a child of the 80s, so do the math. Of Houston and places named Austin, fascinating places called Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, and they're all in our from on. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, I guess I'll just go to school. So you get on the bus and all hell breaks loose. Did you hear what Justin's dad did? Got busted doing. So this happens not once, but twice. The only 2 days of the year of our entire school time that Justin and I did not walk to the bus together. In my infinite wisdom, and because I have a get out of jail free card, because I am so many things. I don't understand your strange cultures in this country. I can put it on like that. It's like, what does all this mean? Now, I asked my very good Southern Baptist instructor, principal at school, public school, I asked her what this all means. And she goes, now, darling, precarious children like you should not be asking questions that they don't need to know the answers to. And if you ask me again, we're going to send you away to join the circus. Now, to an 8-year-old, running away to join the circus is kind of the ideal job, right? So I ask again. They did everything short of sending me to the nunnery. But that principal, Mrs. Barksdale was her name, pulls me in. She goes, there are some things that are adult discussions, and there are some things that are children's discussions. And the fact that you have such an inquisitive mind leads me to ask you the question of why are you asking me this question? Or anybody for that matter, right? And I said, I want to know the story. I like stories. Behind every great tale is a human story. Think about it. When we grew up as kids, it wasn't just hop on pop. It wasn't one fish, blue fish. The ones that stuck with us were the ones that had a great beginning, middle, and end and left us, whether we admit it or not, slightly more intelligent. I entered into evidence the very formulaic structure of any great Broadway musical, or more evidently, a Disney Pixar film. If you have not cried 3 times in the first 30 seconds of one of their montages, you are not human. They do an excellent job of telling a story. I am allergic to every single Disney Pixar movie ever made because my eyes water uncontrollably and my nose runs every time we watch that. And she looked at me and she says, you care about the story, huh? I said, yeah. She said, why? I said, because I want to be able to tell the story from a first position perspective so that it doesn't get muddled. I was 8 years old. I had no idea how deep this went. And then she's like looking at me for radios from the FBI and stuff. And she's like, she goes, that's interesting. We're going to send you to go see the high school play across the street. Because I have a feeling that there's something inside of you that nobody's discovered. 8 years old. And I knew that I was different. Because when everybody asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would always answer immediately, a Muppet. I was raised right. You can be anything you want to be. I will be a Muppet. I see my first play. My mind gets blown. Not about the storytelling. Not about the cool lights. Not about the cool makeup that even the dudes were wearing. We'll get to that in a minute. But because of all the people it employed, or so I thought. Remember, these were high schoolers to me, so they were giants. They might as well have been 40-year-old men and women, right? So I was more fascinated by how many people did it take for those 10 people to tell that story. And I got introduced to the concept of teamwork at that point. I played sports. I knew how it worked, right? There was no I in team. Fun fact, if you look at the letter A, there's an I hiding in there. So there is an I in team. It's right in the A-hole. Rotary is never having me back ever again. So a really awesome teacher takes me and shows me how everything works backstage. And I'm hooked. I don't know it yet. In fact, I wouldn't know it for another 10 years. But I'm hooked with the concept that for those 30 minutes to 2 hours, however long the story is being told for, nothing else exists. It's that story on that day, at that moment. And more importantly than being able to tell that story on television, It is a visceral human to human interaction. Think about the last show you saw. By the way, round of applause for the Smith Center because they are changing the world. So promotes in you. I wish something like that existed in the town that I grew up when I was growing up because it's phenomenal, right? Through art, there is commerce. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Through art, there is peace. Through art, there is creativity. Through art, there is business. And you start them early, understanding how to be empathetic through theater arts, through music. The world becomes better one experience at a time, right? So fast forward to high school. And I'm trying to figure out why the girls that I used to chase around the playground are now making me go, So this girl, Lisa Valentine, I remember her name to this day, she still doesn't talk to me, goes to the show choir one day. And I hear the voices in those beautiful high school choral things when people's voices are changing and they're full of hormones and none of it sounds good now. But back then you were like, wow, they sound amazing. She goes to the show choir one day and I'm like, why don't you hang out with me this weekend? She goes, I'll make a deal with you. We're short for guys in show choir and drama club. You join show choir and drama club and I'll consider maybe going out with you. So how bad can it be? The guy to girl ratio is 10 to 1. I can't lose. I lost. I go into this theater arts class, this show choir class, and I forget all about the girl and fall in love with the fact that just like a football team, just like a baseball team, just like a basketball team, we're all united in one common goal. And that's to be able to form beautiful choral harmonies. That's to be able to tell the story that somebody else wrote through our own interpretation. Fast forward again, I get to college. Worst day of my life. That's a joke that you're not giving me nearly enough credit for. Worst day of my life. I went to college, and I had to make a distinct decision. Remember those Afghani immigrant parents of mine I told you about? We have only 3 choices in our culture for our profession, and 3 choices only. Engineer. We have a couple of engineers here, right? Engineer, number 1, top shelf. Number 2, if you can't get into engineering school, you go to med school. Think about that for a second. And if you're not going to be a doctor, we'll be okay with you being an attorney. That's it. Done. There is no other career. So imagine this slightly good-looking, tall and dark guy who discovers that he can sing and tell a story better than most of them, walking up to his very Middle Eastern but very Americanized family and saying, I'm running away to join the circus. That door hit me on the butt so fast I had no idea what happened. My ears popped. My dad was like, what are you, nuts? You're going to go to New York City, you've got this very expensive degree in business, and what are you going to do? You're going to go and gallivant on stage? And I said, you have to let me do this for one reason and one reason only. Whatever I end up doing for the rest of my life, I'm going to learn how to make real human connections. If I'm allowed to fall on my face in New York, God, I hope I don't starve to death, which I did. Biggest character builder I got in my life. Broke and hungry and almost homeless my first winter in New York City. Y'all been to New York City? It sucks in the winter. Especially when you're a starving artist. So they say, you know what? We'll give you 6 months, but we're not funding it. 6 months is not a lot of time to do anything. You try to lose weight, you can't do it in 6 months. At least not me. I don't know about y'all, but COVID did a really weird side effect on me. All of my clothes shrank. This one was so great. It's like, good Lord, I'm wearing the mask and everything, and none of my suits fit. I don't know what happened. Weird disease that. I get to New York. I think, I'm tall, I'm dark, I'm reasonably good looking, I like to think. I'm going to have a field day. And in New York, everybody's tall, everybody's dark, and most of them are way better looking. So I pulled myself up from my bootstraps by remembering the story of how my parents had to come here and compete in the Deep South, 2 doors down, the Swagger family. Nobody's going to cut me slack, they had to earn it. Very respectful. So I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to let anybody cut me any slack. Not the best looking, probably not the best actor, probably not the best singer, but they're not going to have a choice but to say yes to it. And that's when I learned why it's called show business. Show business. There are far too many talented people in the world that are further along than any of my colleagues that I've had the amazing privilege of working with on stage and on screen. Most of them are clueless when it comes to 3 key performance areas: marketing, positioning, and understanding your audience. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a list of every casting director in New York City for every show on Broadway. And I'm going to print off every 8x10 that I can do, stuff in my little backpack. I'm going to head to Times Square. And 5 days a week, I'm going to door knock at the stage door. Because, you know, of course they're going to let you in. What do I know? They don't, by the way. Anybody here in the real estate business or a sales business, do you have a door knock or cold call? Show me your hands. You think it's hard for you? Imagine in showbiz where you can't even get the door open. So I do this for about a week. I'm sliding headshots under the stage door with a note. Hi, my name is Buck. I'm from Louisiana. I'm really excited to sing and dance on Broadway. And it was crickets. It was silence. This went on for 3 months and probably $5,000 worth of pictures and resumes, countless miles of shoe leather. And then one day, I was just about to throw the towel in. And I'm standing on the corner of 42nd Street and Broadway, and the snow starts to fall. It's one of those days. It's like right out of a movie. You feel like you're in a snowboat. It's literally the only 15 minutes where New York City is beautiful from snowfall before you have 9 months worth of gray slush all over the streets. And this guy walks up to me, and he's got a cigar, like I said, right out of the movie, big old scarf. And he looks at me and he goes, "You look like an actor." And I was like, "I am. How could you tell?" He's like, "I think you're the one that keeps leaving headshots underneath the door of my office." And I was like, "I am." He goes, "Yeah, the place you're looking for is 2 doors down. We're a real estate firm." Okay. Can I have my pictures back? Because those are expensive. He takes the cigar out of his mouth and he goes, "Tell me, kid." And he talks like one of those guys out of the 1920s movies. You know, see, you follow, kid, here's how you do it. You're taking this way, see? And you follow right, he's one of those guys. And he goes, "Tell me what you do, where you're from, and how you got here. 30 seconds or less, 30 seconds or less, we're on an elevator, bingo." That's what he literally role plays. "I'm here from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, big LSU Tiger fan, hope to own a monster truck someday and a top field drag shirt. I want to be an actor, sir." "All right, what do you do else? What's your other talent?" "You didn't tell me nothing." "Well, I speak a bunch of languages fluently and I know how to connect with people." And he goes, "Great, you're hired. Be in my office at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Bring a telephone cord because we have the handsets and the bodies, but they steal them. So bring a telephone cord and a list of everybody that you know." Like, I don't know anybody in New York City. Says, "We'll solve that." This guy ended up putting me to work because of my language skills. Didn't know it at the time, but he's one of the most prolific Broadway producers in history, by the way. He had made his fortune in real estate. Commercial real estate. And because of a stupid happy accident of some overeager beaver named Buck pushing a bunch of headshots under his door, and then the fortuitous chance of standing on the corner with this guy and him recognizing my face, he says, "Here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to make it so that you don't go hungry in this city because I can see that you don't give up easily. I've got a stack this thick of your picture. I'm tired of looking at it. So you're going to start burning up phones and you're going to start making some money. And when you can prove to me that you know how to do this and can adapt, I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Cameron McIntosh. We put a lot of money into his shows. Well, Cameron McIntosh, for those of you that don't know, is the Steve Jobs of the Broadway world, is the Elon Musk of the Broadway world. He's produced a few minor hits you may have heard of over the years. Cats, anybody know the show? The Phantom of the Opera, you know this show? Right? Miss Saigon, Les Miserables, on and on and on. He's like, "There's my golden ticket." He says, "But there's one other condition. You got to promise me that you're going to treat this like a business. You're not going to treat this like an artist." So sure enough, I did it. I had my first 3 commercial escrows open a month after I joined them. Anybody commercial practitioners here? Yeah? Think about that. Instead of an 18-month timeline in 3 months in New York City. One of them was with the former president of the United States. I have a story there. I won't tell you here. Oh, it's a good one. Trust me, I'll tell you. And after that escrow closed, he called me into his office. And he said, "Okay, here's the deal, man. I'm not doing you any favors. I'm going to make an introduction, but it's on you to book the gig." I was like, "Okay." And I walk into the lobby, and there's Cameron McIntosh. Biggest producer of all time. He's about that big. He's not very tall. So I'm towering over, and he's British, you see. He's very, very British.
So when he insults you, you look forward to it. When he tells you to go to heaven, you're like, I'm so excited about the trip. Thank you so much. Ended up marrying a Brit. That's a lot of fun on 4th of July, by the way. I go out and throw tea bags into the pool. She has no idea what's going on. They've never been taught that. They've never been taught that. She's like, what on earth do you do? They have to change the fences. And I'm like, no, 4th of July, I'm throwing the tea bags into the pool. And she's like, no, we've never learned. That's not what we gave you a country. I was like, you gave us a country? History is written by the victor, indeed, by the way. When she was going through her citizenship test, she's flipping through the things, and she's like, I have no idea any of this happened. I was like, not for all the tea in China, you didn't. You gave us a country. There was a whole war. There was. We just heard that there was a disturbance amongst the colonists. So I ended up with this prolific, very exciting, lived somebody else. I constantly felt like in show business that I was living somebody else. As you can tell, I'm very shy, very introverted. Constantly felt like I was living somebody else's life. Not imposter syndrome. I want to be very clear. I didn't feel like I was doing something I shouldn't be. I just felt that there was something bigger for me out there. And I ended up getting cast in what was arguably the biggest show of my life, a Broadway musical called Jersey Boys, the true story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, which became a ridiculous runaway hit. Massive hit. And it was one of those instances where as we're meeting like dignitaries and heads of state that were coming back to meet us. Imagine that. When Paul McCartney walks backstage and goes, I'm so very excited to meet the cast of Jersey Boys, I'm like, you're a Beatle. I'm a dude who, if it wasn't for this, would be slinging drinks at Starbucks. Like, are you kidding me? And I realized at that moment, when Billy Joel comes backstage, when then President Barack Obama comes backstage, then Governor or Mayor Rudy Giuliani comes backstage. We play Washington, D.C., several sitting senators and the vice president. And I'm standing there going, this should mean more to me than it does. And it's not fair. Grateful, I'm not saying I wasn't grateful. Not at all. But I'm sitting there going, I'm taking a spot that somebody else would straight up stab their spouse for. I need to get out. It's time to go find my passion. So I called my agent management team in New York City and said, hey, when Jersey Boys is done, I'm out. She picked up that handset so fast because that was her meal ticket for such a long time, right? 10% of a big check on Broadway. She's like, you're not doing any such thing. I don't know if I told you, but this is indentured servitude. She says, tell you what, you probably need to change the pace. You're a real estate-minded guy. I'm going to see if the producers will send you to Vegas. Oh, thank you. It was 2012, by the way. Remember what happened in 2008, 2012? Boy, the market was booming, wasn't it? So I get to Vegas. I start doing the show on Broadway. I wait a year to activate a real estate license because I didn't know what was going to happen, much like most of us who were terrified of what the future held for us. Do the biggest show in strip history, Broadway history, and the whole time I'm thinking there's got to be more. There's got to be something different. The show announces that it's closing 3 years after I started doing it here. 100 people backstage, cast, crew, musicians, actors, losing their jobs. And I'm the only idiot in the building that went, oh, thank God I can get on with my life. Really weird feeling, right? Really weird feeling. And that's where, as Stu alluded to, I ended up in the cannabis business. There's no connecting dots there, I'm going to tell you how we got. So I set off to take all the skills I've learned in entertainment, how to connect with people, how to have an honest, deep conversation. Let me tell you something, business owners here, people that are in management and leadership, if you have the opportunity to hire somebody who has been a professional artist, musician, actor, singer, model, even if they haven't done it, but they've gone through school to do it, you take that opportunity today. You fire someone to hire that person. I'm not even joking. Here's why. They will learn your system faster than anybody else on the planet because they've had to do so as if their life has depended on it, because chances are their life has depended on it. They will understand, adapt, and have a deeper and more penetrating knowledge of anything that you teach them than any other profession on the planet. And furthermore, there is not a person on the planet that someone with an artist's brain cannot connect with. They will diffuse every tense situation, and they will add to your bottom line in a way that you cannot even possibly understand. Because by the way that their brain works, they're trained in scripts, they're trained in body language. I could tell when I walked in here today, the ones that I wasn't going to talk to right away because their body told me this versus this. That is an inherent skill set that you learn through the theater arts, musical arts, and training arts. If you can find the opportunity to hire somebody in the artistic business to transition into your industry, take that opportunity today. And they will help elevate your people faster. The cannabis business. There's a funny story. As you can imagine, in showbiz, there are a lot of people who partake of a certain weed that grows out of the ground that, if used properly, can make you see colors that may or may not exist. When used abundantly, you can probably taste feelings. I'll give you a second. Some of you are laughing because you know. So I'm backstage one day before it was well legal in Nevada, and a very famous musician who shall remain nameless, but I'll give you 3 hints. He moved to Vegas so his son could play with Bishop Gorman. There is an animal in his name. And there you go, somebody said it. Good dog. He shows up backstage because he wanted to sample one of the songs that was in the cast of Jersey Boy in our musical with Frank Valley. So he shows up backstage and he rolls in, super cool guy, way laid back. And of course, there was a certain smell that followed him and his whole entourage that came backstage. I was worried that there were some stumps loose in the parking lot at the Paris Hotel. And in passing, somebody mentioned that I was in commercial real estate, and he goes, "Yo, dog, come here. What do you think is going to happen with cannabis lounges if they ever legalize it in Las Vegas?" And I said, "Well, I don't know the first thing about stupid buck. They're never going to legalize cannabis in Vegas. What are you, nuts?" And then they legalized cannabis in Vegas 6 months later. So the entertainment business accidentally got me into that space, and here's where the story gets interesting. When it went legal, my team and I were carrying about 1 million square feet of industrial product, industrial warehouse space. You need industrial warehouse space to grow cannabis. We are not a nationally affiliated brand that is traded on the big board, like a Colliers or a Jones Lang LaSalle or a CBRE. So most of the operators were afraid to call them because those brokers and those brokerage houses wouldn't touch anything to do with cannabis because they were traded on a big board. They didn't want to worry about having some sort of conflict. I've got 1 million square feet of industry, of industrial. The phone rings one morning, and I'm like, "Yeah, I think we can handle it. I don't know anything about it." And I kid you not, it's as if they were all standing around the trunk of a car dealing something, because I get 150 calls in 2 hours about, "Hey, tell me about the space," and they start bidding against one another. And these guys were all such close friends when I finally met them. They were all competitors, that they're literally standing there and they were all sharing one cigarette. It was the coolest thing I've see, because it's a joint. Okay, forget it. My name starts popping up on brokerage deals all over town for industrial space as it relates to cannabis, and it gets the attention of Carson City. And they bring me up to Carson City. They say, "Okay, you're on the brokerage side. You understand the real estate side. Help us figure out a way that this is going to be legal and compliant in the state." And I said, "Man, I'm in the second oldest profession in the world. The first oldest is actually legal in Quran." Let me listen. Okay, forget it. "You want me to help you do something that the casinos are never going to allow to happen." And they said, "The reason that we're bringing you in is because the casinos are adamant that we make it happen." Wow. Think about that for a second. Now remember, that is a Schedule I license. That is a controlled and privileged restricted license. A gaming license cannot have another controlled privileged restricted license on site. They cannot have it, so that's why you will never see, in the present form, a cannabis lounge inside a casino. But they certainly could have an off-site space to do that with, couldn't they? And then you can add gaming. Think about it. Oh, I see people taking notes, their heads are popping out. I gotta build it up. Right? The moral of that story is, the journey that we go on as human beings is collective. Whether we realize it or not, we're connected in some way, shape, or form. You spend 30 seconds asking simple questions of a stranger and you've made a friend. You're going to find more in common than not. The artistic side of that is to be able to tell those people's story in such a way that it's compelling that they can't say no to you, your industry, or the change that you as Rotarians are causing in the community. The biggest lesson I learned since I've lived in Las Vegas, and more specifically Nevada, the only reason I ended up in front of one of Carson City to help with legislation, I am not a politician, I have no intent of being a politician, is because I learned how to communicate in a way that connected our people. Thanks for having me here.
Wow. This is our Soul Power Award. This represents a pair of shoes for each child.
Oh my God.
Meeting adjourned, and join us in the vintage room after for the centennial celebration. Thank you.